You made it about Lil Baby, bro. It's not Lil Baby, baby. What the hell, bro? And nobody was going with a nigga.
The flight. I get on the flight at 5 a.m. by myself. Haven't heard from her. Then the next day, she at a Lil Baby restaurant leaving taste test reviews. I'm like, this what you do?
I was, I want to take accountability for all the girls that was following that because I made everything look cool. That was just me in survival mode. For real, and not like taking it through or setting back or...
Now, Chrisean Rock just tossed out an accusation so wild it makes all her fights with Blueface look like child's play. In the middle of crying on live about her baby and clapping back at Blueface, she suddenly claimed Lil Baby was trying to pass her off to his wealthy sugar daddy for threesomes. Basically, she was supposed to be the product in some secret setup. And listen, this ain't coming from nowhere. For months, Blueface has been dragging Lil Baby into their mess, accusing Chrisean of creeping around with him, even putting Baby's name in his songs. So when Chrisean finally snapped and dropped this bomb, people didn't know how to react. Some fans laughed it off, while others said, that's why Blueface been so paranoid about Lil Baby from the jump. Still, if there's even a shred of truth...
The Lil Baby though, was Lil Baby trying to fuck?
Blueface wasn't trying to...
I know I wasn't asking about Blueface, I was asking about Lil Baby.
I'm saying like it don't start like that.
It's disturbing because what she's describing sounds way bigger than just drama. It's straight exploitation. And the fact she had to air this out in the middle of a custody war makes it even more intense. But here's the kicker. Before Chrisean even blasted the Lil Baby situation, her drama with Blueface was already spiraling out of control. Right after she gave birth, instead of stepping up as a dad, Blueface hopped on Twitter calling her selfish and even threatened to take custody of their newborn. He literally tweeted, if she don't take my son serious and make that her main focus and priority for at least 30 days, I will file for custody. Then he added that his kid wasn't finna be touched on like everybody in her family, and ended it with,
Nobody taking my kid from me. Nobody taking my baby from me, yo. Nobody taking my baby from me, yo. You know how much I took when I was pregnant with him? Nobody taking my baby, yo.
dead homies, I don't play them games. That wasn't just a rant. That was Blueface basically warning the whole world he was ready to weaponize the courts against her while the baby was still fresh out the hospital. Here's where it all connects. Blueface could not stop dragging Lil Baby into the mix. He kept accusing Chrisean of sneaking around, saying she cared more about clout and connections than her own son. One of their biggest blow-ups even came right before she gave birth, all because Blueface swore she was with Lil Baby. Chrisean later went live, bawling and screaming, "You made it about Lil Baby, bro." This is not Lil Baby's baby. Hearing her breakdown like that showed just how far Blue's paranoia had gone. From the very start, this custody drama had Lil Baby's name stamped all over it, whether he wanted it or not. And while Blue was busy blasting tweets, Chrisean chose a different route. She spoke for herself. No trolling, no jokes. She went live in full breakdown mode. Shaky, raw, and honestly heartbreaking. Through tears, she kept repeating the same words. "Nobody is going to take my baby away." That moment hit heavy. No matter what people think about Chrisean, everyone saw how rough her pregnancy was. The fights, the chaos, the non-stop stress, she carried all of that while still bringing her son into the world, so when she's crying about protecting him, that's coming from a very real place. Fans lit up the comments with split reactions. Some thought it was powerful to see Chrisean fight so hard for her baby. One even wrote that they hoped her family would step in with custody paperwork because she finally found the love she was searching for. Others took it as a moment of strength, telling her to keep God first and stand tall with the women who fought the same battles. But no matter how you saw it, one thing was clear. Chrisean was done staying silent while everyone else spun the story. And right when her live was blowing up, Lil Baby finally snapped at being dragged into their mess.
Cute on that tomboy story. I like that. It was like, he gave me a compliment. But that's the only flirt that, he was really giving me advice. It was just like, yo, you emotional. What are you doing? I said, whoa.
Lil Baby said that.
Yeah. And I'm like, Alright. You're like, what? You talking to me like you really that cool? So then,
And when he spoke up, he wasn't laughing, he was fed up. He jumped on Twitter and shut it down quick. I ain't with the trolling. I be laughing at certain stuff, but stop playing. I never tried to talk to no Chrisean. Please stop attaching my name to that. Then he doubled down with another tweet. I seen her at a party and told her some real talk. She knows I never tried to talk to her. I know my name brings attention, but even trolling about a child is too far. That energy was pure frustration. Lil Baby wasn't just denying. It sounded like he was begging folks to leave his name out the drama, and that's rare, since he usually stays low-key and avoids internet scandals. Fans split again. Some said this proved he was clean, others thought the fact he even had to speak showed just how messy things had gotten. Either way, the second baby cleared the air. Chrisean was ready to flip it into her moment. Instead of letting Lil Baby's denial kill the conversation, Chrisean flipped it into proof she'd been right the whole time. She jumped online and wrote, "See, he finally said it. Facts. Told y'all, I've been attached to his name because my baby daddy insecure as hell. Someone tell Blue he can stop trolling me." That was classic Chrisean. Messy, but also triumphant. She wasn't just relieved Baby denied it. She was gloating. Like, look, I told the truth. Blue made all this up in his head. Then she doubled down, writing, "I'm done trolling. I just needed Lil Baby to clear the air because my baby daddy gave me hell over a dude and won't believe me about anything." It sounded like a sigh of relief mixed with a full-blown victory lap. But here's the twist. Even though Baby denied everything, the way Chrisean spun it only kept the drama alive.
if me and anybody got beef, why the first thing y'all try to say anything is about my son? My son got nothing to do with this argument. My son or my got nothing to do with our argument. Go toe to toe with me. Stop trying to throw up shit, because I can throw up your kid.
Instead of moving on, she used his words to drag Blueface through the dirt again. And she didn't stop there. She pushed things into darker territory. Chrisean claimed Lil Baby wasn't just randomly tied to her name. He was actually trying to sell her off to his rich sugar daddy for threesomes. She basically painted it like Baby was setting her up as part of a deal, with her being the entertainment in some wealthy man's bedroom. This wasn't the type of claim you just toss out for clout. The way she said it, emotional and heated, felt like something she'd been holding on to for a while.
All right, dude? Bro, that's not good, bro. Damn, dude. Bro.
She even said Lil Baby complimented her in a way that didn't feel innocent at all. And that's when the story took a chilling turn. Not gonna lie, I can see why some folks actually believe Chrisean's claim. Look at the timing. Blueface's non-stop obsession with Lil Baby suddenly makes a lot more sense if he knew something shady was brewing behind the scenes. And let's be real, the way Lil Baby jumped on Twitter so defensive.
If I'm intoxicated and I beat your ass, nobody's gonna say anything about me gaslighting, about me intoxicated, about what you did. They're gonna say no. Blue couldn't control himself. He got out of his emotions and her up, send him to jail. It's a double standard.
It's not a double standard.
You're an idiot.
If I get mad just like
You're
that.
an idiot.
No, now you trying to say I do it first.
You do.
All the time.
You do.
Didn't exactly kill the suspicion. If anything, it made people raise their eyebrows even more. This isn't the type of claim you just brush off. It leaves a stain. Because if what Chrisean is saying is even halfway true, we're not just dealing with baby mama drama. We're talking full-on exploitation, and that's a whole different level of disturbing. The second Chrisean dropped that sugar daddy bomb, the internet split in two. Some said she was doing way too much, while others swore she was finally exposing something real. The comment section got loud quick. One fan wrote, "Now you have to get it together. If it's not true, move on and ignore him." But that's been the problem since day one. Chrisean can't ignore it because Blueface keeps throwing Lil Baby's name in her face, and now it's tied to accusations that are too heavy to just scroll past. Another fan gave her tough love.
No such thing as jail talk. You feel me? Blue's not broke, yo. He got money. When I get mad, I call him a broke because he be doing broke shit. Like, stop playing. You feel me?
Stop letting that clown mess with your mental. He's miserable and wants you to be too. Every time you let him get to you, he drags you down another notch. Stop allowing it, baby. And honestly, that one hit deep, because reading between the lines, it's no longer just about Blueface. Fans are now lumping Lil Baby into the same category. men trying to control or exploit her. That's why Chrisean's sugar daddy allegation didn't just fade away. People see a pattern, and they're tired of watching her spiral right in front of them. Fans flooded her comments begging, just leave him alone, focus on the baby, and that was everywhere. It shows how drained the audience is by the drama, but it also points to the saddest part. Chrisean can't just walk away if what she's saying about Lil Baby is true. Because if a superstar rapper really tried to pass her off to his wealthy friend, then it's bigger than protecting herself. It's about protecting her son from growing up in a world where she's treated like property. That's why the fan reaction split into two camps. One side clowning her to move on, the other whispering that maybe, just maybe, she's exposing something real about how deep this exploitation goes. And the reason people didn't just laugh off the sugar daddy claim, they've already seen her trapped in the same cycle with Blueface. Their whole relationship has been a loop of abuse that everybody recognizes by now. First comes the love bombing. After every messy fight, Blue pops back up posting her, showering her with gifts, calling her his queen. And every time Chrisean falls back in line, defending him online like nobody understands their bond. That's the so-called honeymoon phase, the hook that keeps her locked in. And sure enough, she stands by Blueface again and again like nothing ever happened. Then comes the tension stage, the shady tweets, the little digs and interviews, the back and forth lives. Fans can spot it every time, that passive-aggressive energy bubbling before the storm. And sure enough, it always blows up into the explosion phase. Viral street fights, screaming matches on Instagram Live, cops getting called, the kind of chaos no one should ever brush off. Yet somehow, their teams keep packaging it as just drama. And when that tension finally erupts, the cameras always catch it for the world to see. After that comes the denial phase. Blueface flips the script, calls Chrisean crazy, makes her out to be the problem. Meanwhile, she breaks down, blaming herself, saying he's just misunderstood. That's textbook gaslighting dressed up as passion, when in reality, it's abuse playing out in real time. Blueface himself has called her crazy and accused her of overreacting. And then, like clockwork, comes the repeat. They link back up for the baby or out of loyalty, and the cycle resets while fans watch the train wreck start all over again. Now here's the wild part. When you lay that whole toxic pattern next to what Chrisean said about Lil Baby, it doesn't sound so far-fetched. If she's being treated like property in public, tossed around in fights and headlines, why wouldn't she believe another man in the industry was trying to use her the same way? That's why her sugar daddy claim hits different. Because once you've seen her stuck in that cycle with Blueface, it's not hard to picture her being exploited outside of it too. And what makes it even scarier? The industry silence. As shocking as her allegation is, people don't know whether to believe her, and that doubt only comes from her messy reputation. Let's be real. Chrisean has built a name off pure chaos. The fights, the crying lives, the public meltdowns, fans have seen it all. So when she drops a claim this serious, there's always that crowd that shrugs it off saying she's just being dramatic again. But here's the twist. Even in the middle of her wildest moments, there are times she looks way too raw, too broken to ignore. That live where she was crying about her baby, that wasn't trolling, that was pain. And when she turned around and said Lil Baby tried to set her up for his sugar daddy, the way she said it didn't feel like clout chasing, it felt like a desperate attempt to finally be heard. That's what makes this whole situation so messy. On one side, you've got her history making people doubt her. On the other side, you've got receipts of how she's been treated by Blueface. Receipts that prove she's been used, controlled, and humiliated before. So when she claims another man in the industry tried to exploit her, it doesn't sound impossible. It sounds like something people are too scared to admit out loud. And that's where the tension lies. Because if Chrisean's telling the truth, then this isn't just baby mama drama. This is a superstar rapper allegedly trying to pass her off to his rich sugar daddy for threesomes. And if that's real, the silence from the industry says it all. Don't get too comfortable, because the way Chrisean keeps talking, it feels like she's not done yet. The next thing she exposes could be even worse. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, drop a comment with your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one.